So this video that you're watching right now, it's gonna have nothing fancy. There's not gonna be a fancy intro, fancy outro. There's probably not gonna be annotations on screen or anywhere. I'm just gonna say how it is. This is very ad lib, no scripts, no ideas, just right off the top of my head. And I'm just gonna say it. EA, you're not watching this. I know you're not, but I'm gonna tell it to you anyway. You've lost me. You've lost me as a consumer. You've lost me as an aspiring games designer. You've just lost me. And I'm not going to critique your conference, because I think that's been done by everyone at the moment. Short version, your conference was bollocks. Because it wasn't targeted to gamers, it was targeted to your financiers. You know, the guys that are bankrolling over your products. It was to them, not to us. And I'm going to get to the crux of this video in a minute, and let's just say everything was bad apart from the indie games that are looking interesting. Anthem, which I want to be hyped for, but I can't get hyped for because I know nothing about it still. And I really don't want it to be like Destiny. For God's sake, don't make it happen. Anyway, that's not the point. What was the final nail in the coffin for me was what you have done with possibly my most beloved franchise of all time. The franchise that, if people have been on this YouTube channel since the beginning, when I started, you would know it was that game that got me starting on YouTube. I'm of course talking about Command & Conquer. If it wasn't for Command & Conquer 3 Tiberium Wars, the expansion Command & Conquer Kane's Wrath, the sequel to Red Alert 2, Red Alert 3, and to a lesser extent Red Alert 3 Rising Sun. If it wasn't for those games, I wouldn't have started YouTube. But on top of that, I wouldn't have fallen in love deeper with games if it wasn't for Command & Conquer 3 Tiberium Wars. Sure, you kind of cocked it up with Command & Conquer 4. It's not a good game. It hasn't held up well. The story is bollocks. I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about my disappointment with how we have been waiting God knows how many years for something to be revealed. Something to give us hope that the Command & Conquer franchise can still live. Especially after you cancelled the development of Command & Conquer Generals 2 after all the debacle of it turning into some microtransaction hound horde, into some loot box fest. After all that, cancelling all of that, us waiting in the shadows, basking, hoping, pleading for Command & Conquer 5, or even a remaster, a remake of the original Command & Conquer or Red Alert could potentially be made to bring back the fire that was the RTS franchise that we love. We get none of that, and instead, we get the Command & Conquer game no one wanted on the mobile phone. And this is the thing, like, this is not against mobile games. I have nothing against mobile games. I play mobile games as much as other people do. But they have a terrible stigma around them. And on top of that, if your mobile game is not good, or if your mobile game has some really, really choice options in there, especially when it comes to microtransactions, real world money, do you pay for the game and then have to pay more for in-game stuff? Like, but yeah, you have to be very careful. It is a massive balancing act. But on top of that, my honest opinion, the game looks shit. It looks terrible. You've taken a franchise that was built on the whole idea of strategic warfare, you having to build that base, gather Tiberium as a resource, gather your army, go out there, have these huge battles against infantry, mechanical vehicles, aircraft, huge titanic weapons. You had that. Now where are we? You've gone from there, where you have to be really strategic, to now in a phone game where it just looks as if the first person to get the first couple of zones just wins the entire fucking thing. Like, I don't know about, what is it? Castle Defenders? I forget what it's called. Or not Castle Crashers, because that was actually a really fucking good game in comparison to this one. But you know that mobile game where, like, you're controlling all your little units, they're going up, they're gathering crowns. Like, that game actually looks pretty cool, and I heavily suggest you check out Up, Up, Down, Down with Cesaro from the WWE playing that. Because that got me interested in actually playing that mobile game. And I actually do now play it, and I'm really enjoying it, and it's great. I prefer that, because at least that's a really fun and good, intelligent game. This looks like a filthy cash grab, and you're just like, well, we got the IP, no one wants to do anything with it, we don't know what to do with it, have a mobile game. Fuck you. I know Generals 2 was looking like a bad idea with all the rumours about it being a microtransaction hellhound, with all these, like, old school generals being locked behind DLC walls that you would have to pay for. It sounded like it was going to be terrible, but at least it was going to be a Command & Conquer game. At least we're going to have a legit strategy game for the PC. Even then, I remember there was this awesome teaser trailer for what was looking to be a first-person Command & Conquer game that we haven't seen since Renegade. And it looked super cool, where you're down in person with these massive Tiberium crystals, fighting off Skrin aliens that are harvesting them. It looked like an interesting idea. It looked something different that could revitalise the Command & Conquer series in a completely new way. A new target audience. A new something. And even then, that was just thrown out of the window because you didn't know what the fuck you were doing with it. Or it just looked like it was a bad idea from the get-go. If anything, time has shown that taking gambles on new ideas can actually fully pay off. And it could be probably the best idea known to mankind. I get it. EA is a massive company. They need to be very careful about the money that they put in, and the IPs that they have, and the games that they make. I get it. They have to think money first. I do get it. But at least, if you compare EA's conference to Microsoft's conference, to Bethesda's conference, and even Devolver's conference, which was bloody amazing, by the way, watch it. I'm very certain Sony's and the other conferences that are there, the show, because I'm recording this after Bethesda's conference and just watching that one, which was amazing, by the way. In comparison to those, and everything that they showed, and all the love that they showed to their gamers, I felt nothing from you. Unless I played sports, and by all means, if you play sports games, and if you loved what they showed with the sports games, play them. I'm not the target audience for them. But if you loved those sports games, thank fucking God you love sports. Because at least EA do that somewhat right. I don't know if they do. I don't play the FIFA games, the NFL games, the hockey games, the basketball games. I just don't. But if you do, and if they are genuinely good, and if you are hyped for the next ones, fantastic. I've been waiting this many years for Command & Conquer, and I get shat on with a shitty mobile game that looks like it's going to be forked up with microtransactions off the butt, with EA giving zero fucks. I'm not even angry anymore, because I was angry when I first saw it, but now I'm just disappointed. I'm disappointed with the whole fact that we've now gone from a company that had some amazing IPs under their belts, amazing game ideas, revolutionary in their stance of things, now devolving into the bollocks. You get rid of Dead Space and the company behind Dead Space, which was bloody terrible. You get rid of probably one of my favourite horror franchises that has now came out with Dead Space. That was already something I was worried about. Now you've done it with Command & Conquer, and I know with some people it's going to be the whole matter of, oh, surely it's 3 strikes and you're out, you got to give him a chance. And I am. I'm disappointed with what you've done with Command and Conquer, and you have lost me because of all of that shit. It's fucking terrible to be a Command and Conquer fan this passionate and be given bollocks on the phone. But you have a chance to redeem it. At least with me. I don't know about anyone else out there. This is all my personal opinions. You can rip me apart in the comments. You can tell me I'm a fucking shitlord and a huge mark. I do not give a fuck. I'm just putting it out there. But EA, you have one chance left. And that one chance is with Anthem. And that's it. I was hyped for Anthem when you first showed it. Because I finally thought to myself, with BioWare, surely you can make the Destiny game that I wanted. Not the shitfest that was Destiny 1 and 2 that has literally done nothing with that idea to get me invested again. You are going in the right direction. But I'm still very hesitant. Until I see legit in-game gameplay. Or maybe even get my hands on it at some point, at some event out there, which I will gladly go to play Anthem. You have very big boots to fill right now, and if those boots are not filled, if Anthem falls flat like Destiny 1 and Destiny 2 does, if you fuck it up, I am done. I am done with any and all of your future products. I am done supporting Origin and buying any of the old school games that come out on that service. I am done with your bullshit, and I am done with what is clearly not targeted towards fans anymore. And is clearly targeted towards your payroll. The guys that invest everything they can into your products to get that money back. If your investors are happy, then I'm happy for you. As a fan, I'm not fucking happy for you. I'm disappointed. These are my thoughts and my opinions, and quite frankly, Command & Conquer has taken me from here with EA, bearing in mind it was up here at some point back in the day, to down the shitter. Do what you must. I'm telling you, I'm still somewhat hyped for Anthem. If you fuck it up, I'm out of here and I'm done. Simple as. Now, if you don't mind me, I'm going to play Command & Conquer 3 because that game, if anything, has made me want to play my favourite game in the franchise. Bordering Red Alert 2, of course. But that's the point. Your mobile game has made me not download it or look into it. Your mobile game has made me want to play the older games that I love and appreciate so much. These are my thoughts. I'm going to go and play some Command & Conquer. Join me on Discord if you want to chat about shit, or if you want to talk about other stuff, hit me up at the social media channels down there. Or just leave comments. I'm disappointed. That's it. That's the video. No flashy exit. See you guys next time. Stay explosive. Everyone else is going to get my money. EA, you're getting zilch. See you guys next time.